On today's episode, Cody's giving us her initial reactions to the Happytime Murders, and we're going to be discussing which back-to-school movies we think are the best. Let's get started.
This is Off the Break Podcast, presented by Silver Screen Insider.
Welcome, everyone, to Off the Break Podcast. I'm your host, Cody, and with me are my dynamic team, who I'm always glad sit beside me, Kyle and Eric.
Hi.
That was so nice.
Dynamic team.
Yeah, you're
I'm
all right.
dynamic.
That was a dynamic duo.
Yep, but now you're my team.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome. I love it.
Oh, yeah, I'll take it.
So today, I went to a really late night show of Happytime Murders because
Yay.
I was super excited to see it.
Why?
Well, I don't know now.
What did you see from the trailers?
In all fairness, I was also very excited. Probably the most excited out of you guys. So I understand why she was also excited.
Just
and
don't
now
know what
I'm
you
about
guys
to be let
thought
down.
you saw.
Yeah.
in
Just
those
looked
trailers.
funny.
I was
It just
just-
looked funny.
I was manipulated by the funny one-liners.
And from
It didn't look funny.
Well, I thought it did, but apparently from what I'm hearing, it's not quite funny.
It is
and
funny.
I'm so upset.
A lot of the funny scenes are in the trailers, especially the Red Band trailer.
Is it a one-joke movie?
No, there are some funny little things sprinkled throughout there, and you definitely have to have a dirty sense of humor. But it's a little like predictable. Some of the jokes, like, I don't know. I thought Spy Who Dumped Me was similar to that. Like they set up a scene, and you're like, oh, I bet they're gonna make this kind of joke, and then they do, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that's okay, I guess.
It's not clever, but
No.
Not super clever, but entertaining. Like, it's definitely a turn your brain off and just let it go. Just enjoy what you're seeing kind of movie.
If you can.
I was surprised it's more of a film noir, like a cop noir, where you've got that gritty cop down on his luck that's now a private investigator, and he does like the rugged voiceovers.
Slave to the bottle.
Yeah, the slave to the bottle, and then the femme fatale comes into his little podunk office.
Turns everything upside down, I'm sure.
Changes everything. His poor secretary with the high-pitched voice and the cute name, Bubbles.
Do we have a moody voiceover track?
There's totally moody voiceover.
I love it.
All narrating through the whole movie.
Sounds like I'll like that part.
Like, damn, I didn't have anywhere else to go, so I showed up the one place I didn't want to be.
Sounds
so that
like noir
part,
to me.
yeah, so that part was like kind of fun. And I was
Mhm.
like, oh my gosh, you don't really see this anymore.
Plus, it probably plays into the joke of this world where like puppets are
Oh, that's seedy
working
underbelly.
with
Yeah.
humans, so it adds to like the humor of like the noir thing as well. Probably
It does.
Mhm.
And I kind of wish they had played up on that a little bit more in the marketing, because that was a nice surprise, I thought, to the movie. Because I kind of was going in thinking it was just going to be the straight, dirty, raunchy comedy.
Yeah,
And it's actually like this gritty, like crime drama with this puppet. And then there's like this level of, like discrimination against the puppets in it. So they have it tough because they're just stupid and they want to make people laugh, and they don't have brains. They just have fuzz, and I don't know, lots of that kind of stuff.
right.
Oh my
Nice
gosh.
attempt at
I just
being
realized
socially conscious, I
they
guess.
they had a Muppet cop, and they didn't make a fuzz joke. Like, oh no,
Aw.
the fuzz, because I don't know. I
That
just,
might be a
Maybe
good
even
thing.
that
Yeah.
is a little bit
That-
too easy.
That
for
might
this
be a
movie.
good thing.
maybe. But otherwise, it was pretty fun, and I don't think it's as dirty as people are expecting it to be.
Yeah.
Definitely the worst stuff are in the Red Band trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I won't give it away too much, but there is a fun Basic Instinct scene.
All right.
That's all I'll say about it. We could talk about
Right.
it on Monday.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
After Kyle sees it.
So
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
I will be seeing this weekend as well, and I've been hyped on it over the summer. Like I've really been wanting to see this one for a while, and
Poor
slowly
soul.
my anticipation for it went down and down, just because time passed, but also
Yeah.
just because I didn't see a whole lot that was convincing me to go see it, other than the fact that, hey, it's puppets who are dirty. Like I was hoping for a little bit more, I guess, out of like its marketing. So
Right. Maybe if they had played up the crime noir and actually had one of his voiceovers
maybe,
instead of like,
yeah.
they're puppets in the after hours with no
Yeah.
kids around.
But
Could have
But-
been more fun.
I'm still gonna check it out. Like I'm still holding out hope that at
Yeah.
least I will like it.
Oh, I think you will.
Yeah.
I did not like it. I still enjoyed it, and I
You
went.
you still saw its flaws, but you gave
Right.
it credit for taking that leap
It-
and for
it
it
helped-
being entertaining.
Yeah, it helped going to the late show, so I was a little tired, so I wasn't gonna like dissect the quality of it. I was there just
Yeah.
to be entertained.
Well, props to you for late showing for that kind of movie. Like that would be kind of tough.
yeah, I'd stay up late anyway, so
Yeah.
I need to start going to more of these.
Mm-hmm.
All the
So-
kids are in bed.
So okay, cool.
Yeah. And I didn't get a chance to see Axel. They had a showing, but I didn't want to.
Yeah.
I didn't have a chance. I didn't have a chance
don't want
because
to
I
do that.
never had any desire.
But maybe I'll get to see it over the weekend, and we'll have to.
Somebody's
check
got
out.
to see it.
Yeah,
I feel like nobody's
Global
gonna go
Road
see
will
it.
be in trouble if no one does.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see how low of a box office it's
Yeah.
gonna have this weekend.
I don't even think like critic scores have really started coming in yet, and it comes out today. Most movies
Ooh.
like I mean, a lot of people like to say, oh, because their review embargo is late, it means they're not very confident in the film. But sometimes it's true. But but the day of the release day, you would think that there would be some sort of way to gauge what people think of the movie, but there's just like nothing still.
Bad sign.
Bad sign.
Bad sign.
Yeah, so it'll probably be a low box office weekend. Happytime Murders may or may not be number one. Well, I'm not sure how much it did in early shows last
Yeah,
night.
I
I
can't
didn't check
remember.
today.
Yeah, I don't have a clue.
So
Should have looked that up.
I think Crazy Rich Asians will hold on.
Yeah.
you
That's
know?
what I mean. That's what I think.
I think it'll hold on. I think
I just think
Meg
Happy Time
will hold on.
Murders, the people who did kind of buy into the gimmick of the puppets and it's R-rated, they'll go see it. Will probably realize it's not that good, and then, it'll probably have negative word of mouth. Is
I don't
kind of
think
what I'm
it'll have, like,
expecting.
I don't think it'll have super positive oh,
People
you
just be
have
like,
got
no,
to
it
see
was
this.
it was a stupid movie.
Yeah.
It was stupid. It was funny but stupid.
Would you recommend all your friends to go see it?
To
To spend their money and go watch
spend
it?
their money and go watch it. Yes, because I love this industry and I want everybody to succeed.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, for these two, I could see it going one way or the other. I could see Crazy Rich Asians hanging on, and I could see Happy Time Murders being able to take number one. I think it will be a close race.
Yeah.
So I don't really have a place to say on which one will win.
No, it'll probably be just a really tight, close, race between the top five again,
Mm-hmm.
and then everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see
Yeah.
what happens on Monday.
Well, Kyle, you did a really interesting Insider News article
Thank you.
this week about your favorite back-to-school movies to kind of get you in the mood to get back into the school routine.
Yeah, well, now that I've been out of school for like a year and been seeing
Oh
people,
my gosh.
yeah, been seeing people going back to school and getting ready and just seeing
It's kind of bittersweet.
everyone.
Is
It's
it-
bittersweet, but it's also It's stressful to watch. Surprisingly,
Does it
'Cause
feel weird? Like,
It-
I should be doing this.
Well,
it felt weird last year,
Since
especially after I
since
graduated.
I've seen my friends start, talking about like, oh man, I want to have to pick up my books and stuff. I'm like, oh
Mhm.
my gosh, I've put that so far behind me
Yeah.
already. But I'll still have incredibly stressful dreams where I'll be like in my elementary school or something, like trying to find my classroom, or I'll be like, oh no, wait, what class am I supposed to be in now? I don't have my schedule.
Well,
that's
that
probably gonna last for a while because I occasionally
Oh, I
still
hate
have
it,
those
but then I
dreams.
wake up and I'm like, oh, I'm so happy.
Well, it's kind of like what you just said is the reason why I made this. Part of the reason why I made this article is because not only did I see people starting to go back to school and it's that season where everyone's getting ready and whatnot, like it just had reminders of me, like with myself growing up during the school years and with seeing everyone else grow and everyone having their own different whatever issues, whether it's personal or whether it's just school related or whatnot. Like there's just so much relatability when it comes to that season, just because everyone's on the same page of being like, it's the school season, oh crap. So I just wanted these movies that I picked to just be reminders. Like if you're going through a tough time, whether it's school or just having a hard time like during the school season, like the movies are a way to help be an escape. And these movies in particular are not only relatable, but they can also be a form of that escapism. So I just kind of wanted to write an article about that and listed off some movies that I think could do the job well.
Well, some of the movies you listed off were The Way, Way Back,
Mm-hmm.
Perks of Being a Wallflower,
Yes.
Edge of 17, 8th grade, which is new.
I know. It's fresh. I wanted to write a
Yeah.
review about it
it'll-
anyway,
it'll-
so it was like my
Right.
mini review.
It's,
Yeah.
it's one of the greats.
Ferris
going to be,
Bueller's
yeah.
Day Off and Breakfast Club. You know,
Yeah.
All
got to
great-
end on
all
the
great
classics.
movies.
Mhm.
Well, the ones I've seen, all great movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those every one of those, like whether it's a comedic take on like high school or middle school, or whether it's just relatable, they all just have a special place to where like people can just go and enjoy themselves
Right.
and just like
We
be
were-
able to have that connection.
We were talking about this topic and we're like, oh my gosh, there's actually a lot of back to school movies
Well,
that
a
didn't
lot
make
of them
your
are
list.
a lot of them are like
Well, there's
coming of
just so
age
many.
movies as
Yeah.
well. So and that's just like a surprisingly popular genre.
I feel like it's. I can't think of a movie that's like just a high school movie. That's not at its core like a coming of age movie.
I think
don't-
one that comes to mind is Fast Times at Ridgemont High, because that one I almost did
Oh,
put
yeah,
in my
yeah, yeah.
list.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a straight up comedy, and it really doesn't do anything to push the envelope when it comes to its characters necessarily. But it still takes place in high school,
That's
and
a
it's
good
still
point.
like a fun
I would say
interpretation of like
It's a
high
nice
school during
romp.
that time. And
Would
yeah,
you say the American Pie movies are just comedies or are they
Yes.
coming of age?
no, they're
I've never
comedies.
seen them.
Oh.
Eric!
Treat yourself to the first two. Like do
Podcasters,
the first two.
listeners, do not hear that. That is blasphemy.
I've never seen the American
Okay,
Pie
it's
movies.
not
I'm
that
sorry.
Gosh,
blasphemous.
no.
It's American
Yeah,
Pie.
it-
You're
I
okay.
forget you guys
but-
are little babies and probably
I was
before your
fully
time.
aware.
Oh,
of
no,
them.
I-
just never.
I watched them. I
Oh my
watched them.
gosh.
No, I mean, if you just want to shut your brain off and laugh,
Yeah,
I don't
you've
believe
got,
in shutting your brain off.
I think you've got like the,
I do.
I feel like that's. I feel like that doesn't make any sense. You can't
just
just turn your brain off when you watch a movie.
It's a figure
you
of
can.
speech,
You could
Eric.
just let the images happen, and you don't think too much about it, and you don't question what is being shown to you.
I
Remember
can't do
Jurassic
that.
World? It was supposed to be that, but dumber.
Yeah, but I can't shut my brain off. I mean, I can have a good time, but I'm still gonna be like processing the bad parts of it, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of interesting about your list is I feel like in the 80s you got the John Hughes films.
Oh yeah.
In the 90s you got the like the raunchy teen like the American Pie and Not Another Teen Movie and
Mhm.
all that stuff. And then you get into the more like mature student stuff in the
Right.
2000s with like Perks of Being a Wallflower and
Yeah, I just wanted a mixture of everything pretty much, and not just
Spectacular
stick
Now,
to
it's a good one.
yeah.
I thought about that one too.
Super good.
It's a very long list that I have
depressing.
for sure.
Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. That's part.
Oh, I
that's
thought I
one
was
of
the
my-
only one that saw that. That one,
Oh, God, no.
again, that one was also on my
I could
list.
totally see
It's-
that being an Eric movie.
That one's
It's-
super good.
I don't think Cody could see it. It is
I
pretty
couldn't.
depressing.
It
That was
too
one of those
depressing
weird.
for
but
me.
That's one of
so
those movies
good.
where people are like, "Oh, I relate to it so much." I was like,
And I'm
I
like,
never
"Real-
really felt that way, like about it specifically, like beat for
Beat
beat
by
with the
beat,
character. But that movie, I was like, "Whoa."
Yeah,
This
it
is
was- it was
kind
more
of
of-
uncanny. I mean, I didn't fall in love with a girl dying of cancer, but
Yeah.
the other stuff in that movie.
Yeah, it's very particular in how you should end up feeling about it.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great
Some
one.
Other notable movies that got left off your list, like Harry Potter, who doesn't want to go to
I'm
Hogwarts.
kicking myself. Like that wasn't even
It's not
surprisingly
really
that
a-
wasn't even on my list. But
I
I
mean,
should.
Yeah,
have
to be
chosen
fair,
Harry
you don't
Potter.
really think of those as back to school movies.
I mean-
they literally are.
Right.
True.
But
But they take place in the Hogwarts school or whatever, and people love those movies. And even
Yeah.
people that haven't seen the books, read the books,
Yeah.
enjoy the movies.
Everybody
And
wants to go back.
I
to
think that
school
one
at
would have been a good
Hogwarts.
one to add
Yeah.
on my list. I would have gone back and added that.
no sadder day than your 11th birthday coming and going and not having a Hogwarts invitation.
Sad.
Tragic.
Thanks, Eric.
Some other ones I thought kind of came to my mind were like
Yeah.
Love, Simon. And
Mhm.
then
Another
you-
newer one, but also a good movie.
Yeah, and then you talked about Easy A, and I remember that was a really fun comedy.
That one made me fall in love with Emma Stone.
Yeah, I actually
That's
never,
when I
still never
realized
saw
that she is something to keep an eye
Really,
on.
Superbad didn't make you fall in love with
no,
her, but Easy
no,
A.
it was Easy A. I think I might. have
Superbad should have made your list.
I actually think I
Superbad's
saw
like the-
Easy.
Superbad's like the epitome.
Yeah.
I think I saw Easy A before Superbad, so that might have been
Oh,
why.
that might have been why. She's
Yeah.
not
But, I mean,
featured in
must have seen
Superbad.
I do.
Superbad
I
pretty
do
late
believe
then.
that Emma Stone steals the show just because of how great of a job she does in leading that. Like that's her movie. Like I can't think of any other actor or actress that really stole the movie other than her.
In what?
In Easy
Oh,
A.
Oh,
in
I'm
Easy
still
A.
talking about Superbad. You must have seen Superbad later than most because that movie was
Yeah.
inescapable.
Yeah, I
for
did.
Oh,
And I'm
people
pretty
our
sure
age.
now that I'm thinking about it, I saw Easy A before Superbad.
'Cause Superbad was
Oh.
like 2007, I think.
Yeah,
And
and-
Easy A was years later.
Yeah.
Like 2 or 3, right? 2 or 3, something like that. Maybe I don't
2009.
know.
I was thinking it was at least in the 2010s at some point.
Yeah, you're probably right. So yeah, but for sure, Easy A is a great school movie comedy.
And then there's you had one on the list that you wouldn't think is a back to school thing, but really like once I say the name, you'll be like, oh my gosh, and that's 21 Jump Street. Like
Yeah. Again,
Yep.
it's literally they are going
I'm-
back to school.
That one I'm
Yeah.
proud of. That one
That
I'm
one
proud
was
of for
a good
adding
one.
it.
Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh.
Because really,
It
like,
totally is.
no, I mean, the best parts of the movie are Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill, obviously. But like when you see like their interactions when they go back to school, and even when they
Yeah.
go back to college in the next one, like they show how different school has become.
Well, yeah, that's what I
Um,
loved about the
today.
first one because ever since I was little growing up, seeing high school, there was just a difference between TV and movie high school and actual
Yeah,
high
there's
school.
the generic.
I was like, bullies don't
old school
do
high
like pick on
school.
people like that anymore. People don't throw people in garbage cans.
Yeah, the
or
nerd
they don't
is
pick
not
on
the
you
typical-
for being good at your history class.
Yeah, like literally. Yeah, it comes to show you that things are backwards now.
And I was
like,
like,
it's just
no,
a different age in
The
in that
valedictorians
time.
of my high school are like the hardest stoners you'll ever see. Like,
Yeah.
this movie is finally like getting it right about how it
Mhm.
is now.
Yeah, and even in college, they don't go as deep into it in the sequel, but they do at least show you like what that life is kind of like and how some of it has changed a little and how like in college like you can adjust and like when
Mhm.
you're in a new surroundings. So I wanted to throw those in mostly for that reason, but also just to talk about how funny it is too.
Do you think when you hear back to school, I just had this thought.
Mhm.
Do you think like middle school and high school? I don't even think college. Like, but
yeah,
college
I guess.
is legitimately a back to school time.
I
but
think-
I just never think of it as like the
Yeah, I
back
guess
to school
I-
time frame.
immediately go to like elementary and middle school really
Yeah.
more than high school.
hmm
Right?
Back,
The older you get, it means
well, yeah, because the
means
summer
things
is
means
huge.
less.
The summer's
Yeah.
so long. It's
Yeah.
like it's like a huge part of the year,
hmm
and then that means back to school is like just this huge event.
But as you
Mhm.
get older,
It's
that
just like
long summer feels less and less long, and it gets
Well,
shorter and
you
shorter.
get older and older, and the only
Definitely.
difference is you don't go to. You don't go to class, but other than that, the days are the exact same, and you just
Yeah.
start seeing it that way more and more. It's like there's really no difference between being in school and being out of school, other than I'm in class for 1 to 3 hours a day, or 5 hours, however many
Yeah.
credits.
Yeah, I would say that I still think about it when thinking of going back to school just because like it's so fresh.
I
Like
also just
I
think-
literally just came out of college pretty much. But I think like the older I get, the more I'll just think about I've seen Cody over here just
Kyle's
like,
so
oh
old
my
and
god.
I
wise.
too have only just gotten out of college.
Me too, guys.
Us youngins, all three of us, man.
But I think as time goes on, like I definitely will be thinking about middle school and high school a lot more. Just because like there was a lot of more growing up, I guess, that I had to do then, and in college, like it was mostly just thinking about like taking the next step after that. Like there wasn't
Like
really
you're
like
kind of excited
much.
to go back to school because you're like, I don't have to work this summer job as much.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I think as time goes on, I think it will be the same.
anymore.
It'll be that.
I'm at a weird point, having just graduated college and now having my my child go to kindergarten. It's so
Yeah,
like,
what a busy single year after
Yeah.
graduating.
gosh, it's been so busy. No, my oldest son starts kindergarten next week, and so back to school has this like it's a weird meaning. Like we had to go get school clothes
Oh,
shopping.
yeah, to me, back to school means like
Yeah.
buying crayons, colored pencils,
oh, totally
all the
did
arts
all
and crafts
that.
stuff.
All the
I never
stuff
think
you
of
need for college.
I never think of yeah. I don't know. I feel like weirdly childish when I'm doing my own back to school shopping. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
It's like I think I need pencils and maybe a couple colored pencils.
yeah. For
That's all, right?
for whatever reason, like
It's way less fun. You don't get to buy all these cool superhero themed
No.
pencil eraser toppers.
You get to
Says
buy
you.
super expensive books that you have to give back.
Yeah.
Ugh.
or return for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, I have to pay a $200 book and I get $5 back. That makes sense. That was the worst.
Yeah.
I got
For
like $60
sure.
back.
Ooh. That just means that you probably bought like $400
Yeah,
worth of books.
yeah, it did. It did.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of fun to just reflect on like all the years of thinking about the back to school season as well
And
as
all
like
the
all
different
the
genres of it. Like
Yeah,
you
all the-
said, the 80s, like romantic comedy
Mhm.
versus the 90s raunchy teen thing, and the
now,
mature upscale films of now.
I mean all those different decades and
Yeah.
all like the different ways on like how film was done during those years, but at the center of it all, like they still told stories. Like they still told stories about
Right.
teens or kids or whatever, whoever it's supposed to be. Like it just shows them growing up at the end of it all and learning from experiences that are needed. So that was something cool to think about as well.
we'll never experience back to school again.
I'm okay with that.
Where are the films about moms letting their babies go to school? Like, I need to see that film.
Boyhood.
Like, how they deal with that.
It's like the saddest scene ever.
I almost put that one in too.
Oh my god, that's like the saddest scene.
I almost
ever.
put that movie in too.
that
wasn't-
scene destroyed my mom.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Actually,
I mean, that was literally what
that
was
makes
happening
sense.
in my
Yeah.
actual life at that time.
hmm
Like the kid in that movie, and it lines up perfectly with me, and
Actually, I think. Yeah,
Age-wise,
Cody's not gonna like hearing this, but
interest-wise.
the year that movie came out is when I started college. So,
I started a year before. But
yeah.
Aw.
You're right though. It did line up perfectly. Actually, that's funny. I didn't even think of that. Feeling old yet, Cody?
No, what are you talking about? I
Yeah.
totally just
Exactly.
What are you
graduated.
talking about? I
us.
just got
Yeah.
out of college.
Yeah.
oh, back to school.
I'm feeling old because my child isn't starting to school.
This podcast got really reflective.
It was
Yeah.
nice. Let's just
It's
not
important
end
to
it
do
on a
that
bad
every
note.
I
once
think
in a while.
I think I'm gonna have to go watch a bunch of raunchy teen comedies and be like, relive the glory days.
American Pie.
Yeah, since some people haven't seen it in
I've
this
seen
room.
them.
I said some people.
You pointed
Eric.
at me though.
I looked at both of you.
Maybe I'll check them out.
You won't check them out.
No, you won't.
No, honestly, he's really not missing anything.
No. It's not great cinema quality, but I feel like it's
Yeah,
like
those are
one of
those things that are very
things you
much,
should have to
people who
see.
experienced them at a certain point in their time when they came out, probably like Super Troopers. I never had
Oh,
a
God,
strong
I love
attachment to
Super
Super
Troopers.
Troopers, but there are people who are, they live for Super Troopers.
You can't see Kyle's like head nod on this, but I just brought to my fun office Super Troopers Funko Pops.
They do look really
Ugh.
cool.
They are. I got Farva, Mac, and Ramathorn. I love them.
I saw your Chewbacca one next to it, and I got really confused. I was like, "That's not correct. That's not."
No.
Yeah, no, those are awesome. I like how they're set up on the table, and
Yeah.
they look cool in the box. And I don't know. I
I'm
don't know
gonna
much
face
about
them all,
Funko
facing,
toys.
facing Eric next time. Like, what do you mean you don't like our movie?
Like you see them all scowling now. You're just
Now
like,
I'm just gonna get them closer and closer to you. Like, see them on your
Oh.
desk, staring at you soon.
watch Super Troopers.
Super Troopers 2 was probably one of the worst movies I saw in theaters this year.
Ooh.
It wasn't terrible, but
Ooh.
of
It
all the
was
movies
not
I
nearly
saw,
as good as the first
It
one.
was in the lower tier.
Yeah.
I liked it probably exact same amount I liked the first one.
Probably.
Just on a side note, they made 3 of these Funko Pops. They didn't include
Oh,
Rabbit, so I was kind of sad about that. But you know what would have been a good character? The bear costume. The
Oh yeah.
the bear and the man
Yeah.
doing it costume. I don't want to say that word on our podcast.
Imagine the
but-
person that's to design that.
Maybe really
Like this
with
is
the
my
big
job.
head.
Yeah.
and like the beady eyes, like looking over the shoulder. But
I've heard that expression for
Yeah.
doing it. Oh my gosh, are they doing it?
Thank you for making this podcast weird, Eric.
It wasn't me who said it.
Well,
to school lingo.
Cody's the one who called us a threesome last time.
that's true. That's true.
Okay.
I didn't mean to it. Sometimes it's like innocent, wholesome, and then you just made it terrible.
Nothing is sacred.
That's
Nothing
okay.
is sacred. That's
I talked
so
about
true.
Shark Week, and you didn't know what that was either. We all have our moments.
We do. We do.
Well, back to
Time-
school movies this weekend.
Yeah.
Go see Axel and Happytime Murders. If you had to only pick one, go see Happytime Murders.
Please see Axel. It desperately needs it.